in Thailand where almost everything can be served as a cold salad. Besides delicacies like raw beef organ salad, the most challenging dish is undoubtedly the internet-famous dancing shrimp that explodes in your mouth. One bite bursts with juice, and whether there are consequences later depends entirely on the integrity of the shrimp farmers. Every street vendor selling these dancing shrimp salads has their own secret farming techniques. These plump little shrimps are living their final moments. With trembling legs, they glide quickly across the water surface, ensuring the precious eggs they carry can get enough oxygen. Just days ago, they were happy little shrimps. One misstep and they're caught in a deadly trap, realizing too late that there's truly no free lunch in the world. Shrimp farming is one of the lowest cost agricultural projects in the region. With just 100 shrimp, anyone can start a full cycle business of farming and selling. Farmers typically use shrimp traps to catch them. If they have extra funds, they can also buy them for just 0.2 baht per shrimp. What kind of shrimp are these dancing shrimp that locals eat raw despite the risk of parasites? They're actually a common freshwater swamp shrimp, similar to the river shrimp found in waterways of southern China. For generations they've lived in Thailand's major rivers, happily hiding in crevices or lounging on aquatic plants. Dancing shrimp are only 3 to 8 centimeters long, tiny and barely enough for a bite. In the past, humans showed little interest in them. Their biggest threats came from small fish and fishermen's aggressive traps. But ever since earning the title of dancing shrimp, they've lived a perilous life on the edge. Surviving in the Mekong River requires resilience, and these shrimp are no exception. When relocated from the wild to artificial ponds, they show no signs of discomfort. These ponds, less than a meter deep, with a few floating plants, are carefully designed nurseries. A few snails wander leisurely in the water. Don't think they're mere decorations. They are part of the pond's nutrient and oxygen system. The waste released by the snails promotes the rapid growth of algae and plankton, providing the first meal for newly hatched shrimp. Don't underestimate the productivity of these female shrimp. Each female can lay 200 to 250 eggs. A group of just 100 shrimp can produce hundreds of thousands of baby shrimp. Moreover, the second and third generations take very little time to reproduce. Female shrimp won't lay eggs in stagnant water to mimic their natural breeding environment. Farmers introduce controlled water flow for a few days, carefully regulating the speed. If the shrimp are startled, they might start jumping wildly, prematurely scattering their eggs, which would drastically reduce the hatching rate. Tropical climates have their advantages. There's no need to worry about incubation temperatures. Here, dancing shrimp can reproduce continuously year-round. 3 to 4 days after laying eggs, the larvae completely detach from the female shrimp's abdomen. The maternal love of mother shrimp doesn't last long. From this moment on, it abruptly ends. Cannibalism is an inherent trait of shrimp. To prevent them from harming the next generation, workers will remove the mother shrimp, harvesting them quickly while they're still lively. It seems that throughout the process, male shrimp rarely make an appearance. Does this mean river shrimp can reproduce asexually? Of course not. Male shrimp don't have many chances to approach female shrimp, since they are much smaller in size. They only court young female shrimp that have just reached maturity. Once a female shrimp grows too large, it is no longer desirable. A male shrimp sneaks out from a crevice in the rocks, climbing toward a female shrimp that has just molted. Taking advantage of the female shrimp's momentary vulnerability after molting, it transfers its seed into the female's seminal pouch. These seeds are enough for the female shrimp to produce several batches of offspring. The newly hatched larvae will be raised in the pond for a few more days. During this time, workers feed them egg yolks daily. After cooling, the egg yolks are sifted into a fine powder and poured into the pond. This pure protein powder is a top-tier nutrient for the baby shrimp, but they only get to enjoy it during this brief period. A few days later, once their tiny bodies grow visible fuzzy hairs, the workers scoop them up and pack them into small plastic cups. The farming model for dancing shrimp comes in 2 types: indoor pond farming and outdoor pond farming. Indoor farming is more meticulous, with water quality and temperature being controlled, as well as an oxygen supply system. The survival rate can reach over 80%, yielding fast growth, high production, and a cleaner environment. However, the investment cost for this type of farming is very high, which makes it inaccessible for many. Outdoor pond farming is quite different. Farmers dig a pit in an open area, disinfect it with lime, and then fill it with water for farming. Dancing shrimp are omnivorous, eating algae, aquatic plants, insects, and even animal carcasses. However, the diet of farmed dancing shrimp isn't as varied, but also not as simple as one might think. It's mealtime again. To prevent the dancing shrimp from being too small to compete with other aquatic creatures in the pond, workers prepare a special feeding setup. This setup includes small baskets that cost just 10 yuan per dozen, but while most other fish and shrimp can only watch from the sidelines. After securing the baskets to bamboo poles, workers prepare dinner for the shrimp. Despite the massive pond, only 3 eggs are boiled, but appearances can be deceiving. It turns out the shrimp eat better than I do. Workers remove the egg whites, keeping only the yolks. They mix the yolks with a large bowl of white rice, half a bowl of fish meal, and a portion of soaked high-tech feed pellets. All the ingredients are mixed, crushed, and kneaded into a uniform dough. Next, divide the dough into small portions and roll them into firm little dough balls. This step must not be skipped or done carelessly. If the dough balls can't withstand prolonged soaking in water, it would not only result in waste, but also leave the shrimp hungry. Once the food is prepared, workers place 1 dough ball in each basket. Before feeding, they need to clean the floating debris from the feeding area. They then distribute the feed evenly across every corner of the pond. Sensing the water flow's ripples, the dancing shrimp quickly rush over, drawn by the aroma, and feast heartily. These shrimp who dislike sunlight usually hide in the dark corners, shaded by floating debris. Although they are small, their appetite is surprisingly large. They can consume up to 5% of their body weight in one meal. Occasionally, they may lose their appetite when the dissolved oxygen in the water drops. Their hunger diminishes. To ensure smooth gas exchange, workers never allow floating debris to dominate the pond. They regularly clean up the floating debris, leaving open spaces in the pond. Compared to other farms, the diet provided here for the dancing shrimp is top-notch. To save costs, some farmers have discovered a feeding method that helps shrimp grow quickly and is extremely cost-efficient. These dark pellets are the secret weapon, a shared feed for both the shrimp and catfish. However, this cost-saving method also carries significant risks. Not only does it pollute the pond and attract parasites, but the feed, being difficult to digest, can overload the shrimp's digestive system. If not managed properly, it could lead to mass die-offs. Poor quality feed is also a hidden risk for consumers. Eating raw shrimp carries its dangers, and caution should be exercised, since the shrimp are too small to remove their intestines. If the feed inside the shrimp's digestive system hasn't been fully digested, eating them raw is essentially the same as directly consuming the feed. Dancing shrimp grow very quickly, regardless of the farming method. Their growth cycle typically does not exceed 3 months. For shrimp farmed in controlled ponds, they are usually harvested and replaced with broodstock to cultivate the next batch. Outdoor pond farming, on the other hand, eliminates the need for repeated stocking. Each harvest leaves some shrimp behind in the net, and they can live up to 6 to 7 years. Newly born female shrimp can begin reproducing after just 2 months. If managed well, the supply becomes endless and self-sustaining. To prevent small shrimp from becoming meals for larger shrimp, at regular intervals, workers use nets to catch the adult shrimp. With one sweep of the large net, the bigger shrimp are retained, while the smaller shrimp slip through the mesh. As long as they are lucky enough, they can keep on living. The freshly caught dancing shrimp, still full of vitality, are quickly weighed and sent to the streets and alleys. Ideally, they will be kept in clean water for a while, making them relatively safer to consume. But this is clearly not practical. Thanks to this, the dish of marinated dancing shrimp has quickly become a viral street food in Thailand. Street vendors scoop them up with a net, add onions, fish sauce, chili powder, lemon juice, and a generous helping of MSG. If conditions allow, they might include additional ingredients. Finally, the shrimp are shaken in a sealed container until they're completely disoriented and lose their sense of self. In less than a minute, a dish of marinated dancing shrimp, a sensation across Thailand, is ready. Who would have thought that the gentle and peaceful Thai people could invent such an intense way of eating shrimp? Not only is it refreshing, it's absolutely exhilarating. The shrimp are fresh, flavorful, bursting with juices in every bite. Their unique tangy and spicy taste has left many people captivated. At this moment, do you feel like you've discovered them too late? Are you like me, eager to give it a try, mouth-watering with anticipation? Perhaps these little shrimp never imagined, even in their wildest dreams, that one day they would rise to fame and become the stars of the culinary world. Thousands of handsome men and beautiful women travel across the seas just to try them and capture the experience. Thank you for watching.